watching Seeing the Unseen with Christopher LaPratt. My name's Kenan, the producer of the show. Thanks so much for tuning in, if I didn't say that already, but quick piece of housekeeping before I go any further. For anyone who's joining us for the very first time, be sure to say something in the chat if you haven't already. Put everyone in line for a reading and get to everyone in order. So be sure to say something, otherwise I won't know you're here. The first time, of course, there's no charge, and going forward after that, it's $10 per card, or you can pay $100 and have one card per show every show of the month, which happens 3 times a week, and that's Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday at 6 p.m. So tonight's title, Right Path, there's a lot to say about that. But just know, no matter what path you're on, what decisions you've made, what decisions you are making, that you're thinking about making, there are no wrong moves here. Life is a process, it's a journey, it's a dance, and we learn as we go. So enjoy. Thanks for listening to me here, and here's Christopher.
Hey, happy Wednesday, everybody. Thanks so much for being here. Every show, I start by lighting the incense with a blessing. To trust your gut. Know that things somehow are all working out in your favor. So I send this blessing to you through the incense and the energy of the incense as it takes your needs, wants, desires to a higher realm, to a different realm, as it dissipates, to know that whatever you're needing at this time, it's there for you. So great blessings to you. Thank you so much for being here. I wanted to welcome Rochelle. Rochelle's on the show for the first time tonight, so everybody say hello. Thanks so much for being here, Rochelle. Rochelle and I met last weekend in LA at the conference. She sat up the back of the room when I gave my talk, and she held up the time signs. If I had 15 minutes left, or 10 minutes left, or 5 minutes left, and she was great. We just really hit it off. So thank you so much, Rochelle, for being here tonight. How we do this, we start with a group card. And the group card has a lot to say with what's going on right now in our lives. And then individually, in the order that you came into the show, I pull a card or do a reading for you. But even though I'm pulling a card for you individually, it probably in some way or other relates to everyone else, or at least one other person in the show. And you know who you are. Okay? So we start with Maryland, North Carolina representing. Thanks so much for being here, Maryland. But let me go back to the group card first. See, I got that anticipation going for you, right? So let's go to the group card. This is the Akashic Stargate. Now, if you ever watch science fiction or know much about Stargates, Stargates are portals that can transport you physically from one place to another. In this case, we're talking about not so much transporting physically, but I wanted to remind you that it's been said that our heart is a stargate. And it connects to different points in space and time. But particularly it connects with that lattice of consciousness. So we are always connected to the mainframe, to this consciousness through our heart. You know, Christ said, that's one of the things that I believe he meant when he said, the kingdom of God is within you. You've got a direct line. And this card, this message for you is that you're on an accelerated realization of your life purpose. And maybe if your life has been in the past confusing, you've had loss, rejection, whatever it was, think about it as being a jigsaw puzzle, maybe of a beautiful garden, but with a storm coming in, and there are dark pieces in the puzzle, but they have a place, they have a purpose to fit the whole picture together. And so this card is about helping you realize that, this acceleration of the realization of why you're here. And there is no right path. So that title of the show, it's a misnomer. It's it's to help you realize that you are the path. You're on the path. However, it travels through the haunted forest, right? The poppy fields to get to Oz. This is the journey that you're on. And it's not, when you get caught up in the head's a good tool. The mind accomplishes a lot of things. But go to the heart, right? Because that's your connection to this realm, this source, this lattice of consciousness. It's the connection to the consciousness. And so feel your way. If always turn in the direction, not right or left or up or down or higher or lower. Turn in the direction that feels the most joyful, that feels the most light, that feels the most loving. Go in that direction. Like, for instance, I had a reading with a gentleman yesterday, and he's at, how do I deal with this certain situation or this certain person? Well, we tend to use our brain to look at what we disagree at with others, or their belief systems, or their projections that are on them. Rather, when you're talking to a person, talk to the heart. Talk to the real person. And you can even say to yourself, okay, I have to talk to Sally this afternoon, and she's got a lot of stuff on her. So when I talk to Sally, I'm only going to talk to the real Sally. I'm not talking to her belief systems. I'm not talking to her projections. I'm not talking to how she was raised. I'm talking to the real Sally. So that's where you turn into the direction of love. Turn into the direction that feels most joyful. Because it's the linear thinking that we've all been trained with in our society, not just our society, but it's the linear thinking that there is a right path and a wrong path. Or I took the wrong path, I made the wrong decision. Oh, I made a right decision here. You will always be on the right path. So that purpose, your purpose here, isn't about doing. It's not about doing your duty. It's about living life. Living life and experiencing joy. So move in the direction of joy. Okay, now Marilyn. Miss North Carolina. Okay? And if you have any questions, just write them in the chat. So one of the suggestions, Marilyn, one of the things that you're one of the things that you do in your life, in your purpose in this life, is talk to the child in people. They may look like an adult. They may be 6'2", but this is reaching out to okay, it's coming down really fast, so hold on, you guys, slow down. Because I want to try to express this and make it sensible, so let me know if I'm coming across clearly. So, for instance, your children. They could be stuck in a very certain mindset. And so when you're resting, when you're sitting down, when you're laying down, or you're doing your meditation, send them love. You don't have to be talking to them, but this is on a metaphysical level where you're sending that person love. Because we can go toward their behaviors or their belief systems or what they did or they didn't do. They are on their path as well. And sometimes when a jigsaw puzzle is just dumped out of a box, when a situation arises, it looks like a mess. And you're thinking, how can I get this 1,000-piece puzzle together? How is that ever going to come together? But somehow you do it one piece at a time. And so this is about sending your children maneuvering around, right, their belief systems, their behaviors, their learned behaviors, and talking to them like you would when they were children. Because there's something within them that is reaching out for something greater. Not everybody does this, right? No, but not everybody reaches out to find or experience something greater. But this is definitely the growth card. There's some major growth going on around you. And like you go out, people have sprinkler systems in their yards to water their plants. If you have inside plants, you water the plants. This is actually just watering with love these people, especially your family. And never underestimate the power. Thoughts are things. You're sending them things. And be free of creating anything that stunts growth, but focus on the love. Focus on the joyful. Even focus on a really fond memory and send that to them, if that helps. Okay.
So next is Dawn. She was, Marilyn was saying.
Yeah. So a lot of people talk to us in public because the articles and the videos came out. It's been overwhelming. We'll be glad to pass it and for it to pass and die down. But that's okay. You can still send these people love. Because that's really what they're wanting. It was a miracle. They just want to get in touch with a miracle. Because how you saved Larry, how you saved his life, it was a miracle. And they just want to touch something greater. But there's no greater thing that they can touch than who they actually are. And that's something you can send them or give to them. So it's a fantastic blessing. Congratulations. Okay. All right. And then we've got,
Oops, yeah. Next is Don Cox.
all right, Dawn. It's so great to have you here. I love it when you come on. All is not as it appears, Dawn. Again, you're on the best path. You are where you need to be. But they're telling me to tell you, you know those games you can play where it shows a room with like 1,000 different things in it and go, find the 3 lemons, right? Where's the chicken? And you go, oh, and when you look at the picture, if you let your mind relax, it's like those 3D pictures. What are those called that you look at and they're
Magic Eye.
the magic eye pictures, right? It just looks like a blur or a bunch of colors. But if you let your mind relax, then this 3D image, boom, pops out. That's what. But if you're struggling to see what it is, if you're struggling to find the 3 lemons and the chicken, it's like your mind locks up, and you can get angry and frustrated and go, there's no 3 lemons and a chicken here. There's no 3D image popping out. It's just a blur. This is getting more into your ability to look past the surface energy, to look past certain behaviors so this is a little different. This is a little bit of a different discernment, Dawn, than when I was reading for Marilyn. So yes, you send people love. You say, I'm only going to talk to Sally. But sometimes it's important to return the energy that they're projecting so that it knocks them on their butt. It knocks them right down. So when years and years and years ago, 30 years ago, one of my teachers, I'd be like yammering on and on. Well, she did this and they did that, and this religion is horrible. It's like, nah. And all the teacher would do, she'd go, and I knew that was her way of sending all that energy back and going, and I was like, oh man, okay, I got it. I heard myself. I heard what I was thinking. I heard what I was saying. And when she looked down and looked away, she didn't have to say a word. But it's a way that you can physically return that energy to people that are thrashing, but sometimes they need, I know what this is. It's allowing people to hit rock bottom. Absolutely allow them to hit rock bottom. And there's nothing you can say and do. Sometimes in lifeguarding, there are some people you have to push under because they're thrashing so hard, they'll drag you down with them. You have to push them under, let them drown, and pull them ashore and revive them. Now, I'm not a lifeguard, but I think you get my illustration. I'm just using this as an illustration. So this is using more of your magic, Dawn, and we all have got it. If we can have the
Oh yeah. Sorry, there's a new person.
okay,
Here you go. It's John and Michelle.
okay, and then Olivia, welcome to the show. A friend of mine recommended you watch the show. Would it be possible to ask a question about my brother? We'll see if he comes up. Okay, I can't. That's a really great question, Olivia. Thank you. It depends on it depends. There's a lot of factors. It depends on if they're ready, if they have a message, or if the timing of it. It depends on that. Okay, but usually, what always comes up with the show, with your reading, is what is the highest priority right now. That's what this show is about. So we'll see if that happens. Okay. All right, John. Anywhere you think you thought anywhere you think you thought you oughta, anywhere you thought you oughta, anywhere you think you thought you oughta. There it is. Anywhere you think you thought you oughta. Can you release, destroy, clear, and uncreate that? And in any realm, especially this one, are you willing to let go of any and all disappointment of how things should have been, could be, have tos? This is that anywhere there's disappointment, in and around yourself. It wasn't your fault. You are on the right path. You always have been. There are these lessons that we contracted to understand or to come here on earth to experience. And sometimes they're repeat of lessons that we've needed to get, but mostly they're all brand new experiences. So take a minute or two, 5 minutes, take those minutes and look at how well you've done. Look at the path you've created and the things that you've got to experience. You're an airplane pilot. You're a professional scuba diver. You're doing real estate, engineer, everything that you've done. And really look at what you have been, what you signed up to do and experience you're doing. You're absolutely doing it. And so anywhere, and then anywhere where there are projections on you, where people are worried about you. Okay, this is really good. Okay. Oh my God, thanks for being here. I'm going to talk to everybody on the show. Anywhere where people are just worried about you. Can you just cut that off? Energetically, those are like arrows. And sometimes because you actually are really psychic, John, like you know stuff, you trust your gut really well. Anywhere where there's like projections, sometimes when I get worried, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Where's that coming from? That it's actually coming from an outside projection. Yeah. Does that, I hope, did that make sense,
Yes.
Kenan?
Yes.
Okay.
It's Rochelle.
Hey, Rochelle. Okay, thanks for being here again, Rochelle. Rochelle's first time, so
She says that she hates that people worry about her.
okay. So just return that, Rochelle. Just absolutely return it. It's not yours. Return to sender. Because it's like so it's nice that people pray for you or send you good blessings, but when they're worrying about you, you can cut that off. You can absolutely cut that off. Because that's a heaviness, that's an energy. So with you, Rochelle, you've got the devil's play card. So I will repeat this, what I said in the beginning. Turn into the direction that feels the most joyful. So when Ken and I were driving back from LA last week, we stopped in Quartzsite, which is like Rock Hound City. There are vendors from all over the world selling these amazing stones and rocks and gems. And we pulled into one part. It's a huge area. We pulled into one part and we got out of the truck and we were walking around and we're like, I'm just not feeling it here. And so I said, let's walk at least 100 feet more down this path. And as we walked down further away from this area of certain tents that were hold rocks, we got into an area where like, oh, do you feel that? That actually feels lighter. And we turned into one of these tents that had the stones we were looking for. Exactly the stones. So that's where turn toward what feels joyful. This is the devil's play card. In other words, does it feel playful to me? Does this feel fun? That's your mantra. Does this feel fun? And universe, anywhere where this is not fun, remove it. Remove it for me. Take it out. You have no problem if you go to a restaurant, you're paying good money for the food, and the food comes out cold. Or there's a hair in your food. Return it. You just return it. That's where, and then you get up, go to another restaurant, order something different. But it's got to feel like play to you. So you're moving more into life and into more of it feeling like play. That's so important for you. And when you do, if the boys in the neighborhood want to play baseball, but you want to play dolls, you go play dolls. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to have other girls that show up just kind of out of nowhere that want to play dolls. I think you get my meaning here. This is doing what you love and having fun at it. Abby in Maryland. Okay. So Marilyn, this is having a special place in your house, like an altar. And you can put your vision board up there, you can put incense, you can put stones that you love, flowers. But it's a special place in the house to remind you to honor the temple within. This is you, it's like a visual reminder of your more and more touching sacred and spiritual. But there's something that's important for you visually to do that. It's almost like turning your house into a holy place. But having a holy place, we're humans and we like visual things. We like things to remind us. I have an alarm on my phone that when it rings, I go, oh, expand. Kenan has his alarm on the phone to remind him to expand the field. This is important for you visually, to have something visually that will help you. Okay. And then Abby. It's not your job to bring two worlds together. Opposing ideas, conflicted people. It's not your job to do that. It's best to step back from any confliction or conflicted areas or conflicted people in your life. Step back. They're wanting to get you involved. Be free of doing that. This is the reflection. It's step back and reflect. Observe, and you'll know when to send the good energy to the person when they need it and when they need it the most. You'll be humming around, working on a wreath, and all of a sudden you'll think of Fred. You go, oh. And while you're working on the wreath, you can literally send Fred energy. Like that will pop into your head when you're more in a relaxed state of mind. So pay attention to that. That's not your imagination. Okay. All right, Diney. So you're really smart, Diane. Stop trying to figure it out. When you get into your head, it drives you crazy. So actually Chuck is coming through. So everyone on the show, Chuck is our brother, and this is the 4 years today he passed. He's telling me to tell you it's not at all what you think it is. You can hear about Disneyland. And you can look at pictures of Disneyland. But it's not until you actually get there that you really, really know. So this is let go of the need to figure it out or to have a reason for it. Let go. That's what's hanging you up. Let go. Let go. Let go. It's not what I think. Distract your mind. Watch a TV show, take up knitting, something to distract the mind. And then the answer comes. It's when your mind, again, it's like Abby, when the mind is relaxed, it gets you out of the thinking. Okay. Lindsay and Austin. We've got a wonderful show tonight. All right. So, Lindsay, um, have you ever heard of cranial therapy? Cranial therapy, CRANIO, cranial therapy. It's where it's like they're specialized people that, um, I don't want to call it a massage. It's not a massage, but they hold certain points in your head. Um, it's like a chiropractor where they do the neck and the back. There's something with helping you open up like the crown chakra. It's from like an old head injury. Like you just need a couple of sessions with a cranial therapist that would be really helpful, that I'm seeing, that they're telling me. Because you've got this seer ability, but I don't know what this is, but it's like relaxing the head, like getting a head massage. um, and that's what a cranial therapist opens up these points in the head. They hold certain points, and it helps energy to move and the skull to be able to relax. That will help you tremendously. All right, Austin. Okay. And Austin, so you know when you're a little kid and you take your drawing to a parent and they just kind of like dismiss it or, yeah, okay, good, whatever. It, here's the point of the card. I'm just going to write to the core. Anywhere where anyone has criticized your creativity, your invention, your idea, are you willing to just return that to them? That is not you. That is their projection. That is highly inappropriate. You know, it's like Rocky, right? Sylvester Stallone tried so many times to get his movie made, and he didn't take no for an answer because they would make fun of it. They put it down, blah 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 blah. Keep going. You are actually divinely creative, and what you do and what you're creating next is huge. Keep going with it. Keep moving forward with it. Keep going. You're on the right path. Keep going on that path. There's a reward here, right? You don't have to wait till you die like Van Gogh. He only sold one painting while he was alive. No, this is more of your scientific ability, the way you think, and putting it out there and going for it. And then doors will start opening. Hey, Laurel. Laurel, every morning on Facebook, she cheers me up. She posts this great picture and just says, "Good morning, everybody." And I love it. Okay. So the card is called Setback, but it's also Sit Back. So number one, it's getting like new furniture, literally. Something really elegant and comfortable.
She said she bought a couch today.
Oh, you bought a couch today? I love it. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's so pretty. Yes, you are. I don't know why this is important, but it's important. There's an energy that is bringing in with that couch that is so important for you. This is like all the planets aligning. So again, everybody on the show, talking to y'all. I'm not telling you to go out and get a new couch, but I am telling you that things are aligning. And when it feels like a setback, for instance, Kenan can speak to this. Mercury retrograde, right? Can you put your screen on and talk about that?
I can do that.
This is great, Laurel. This will understand. And Kenan will talk about the Mercury retrograde.
Okay.
So I'm just going to switch it all the way over to me because it's a little bit easier. Quick thought on Mercury retrograde. From a geocentric point of view, like watching from the Earth, which we all are, Mercury appears to move backwards in the sky. Like it's tracking its course. All the planets do this. It's called retrograde motion, where it, from our perspective, the circular motion of the different planets moving around, it moves forward through the different signs of the zodiac, and then it'll track backwards. So during the time that it's going backwards through those different signs of the zodiac, we get to reassess and reevaluate everything we've just done. So that's retrograde.
Yeah. So that's that. Thank you, Kenan. That is that's the setback. It's like taking some time on your new couch to sit back and reevaluate. It's not making any urgent moves or jumps, but it's preparing you for when the time comes to make a jump to be able to do it. So can we put the list back up again? So this pertains to everybody on the show. So Lana, Mia, Kat, Olivia, Jeff, Sherry, Tiff, this is all of you. That if it feels like a setback or things are not happening, that's the time that the energy is coming back to gather the energy to expand again. Okay, that's too funny. All right, Tiff. Oh my gosh, I love this. All right. This is speaking up, Tiffany. It is doing what scares you. You can do it. Ken and I were talking about that before the show. Is if something scares you, do it more. I was scared to go to college. I was scared to get a degree. And I just hammered at it. I was just scared of it. But that proved that I could do it. This is you moving into something that you're nervous about, not sure you can do. You have the courage. Don't pray for strength. You've got it. You've got it. You've absolutely got it. This is starting a foundation. It's something you've never done before, but you know, everyone, Tiffany's a doctor, right? She's a doctor. You never had done a doctorate before you started it, but you did it and you got it done. This is something that is moving It's as big as that, and it can feel really daunting. But how did you get your doctorate? One day at a time, one lesson at a time. You got it done. That's what you're moving into, and you've got the courage to do it. Sherry, it's so great to have you on the show. Thank you for being here. So this is so for the new people that are on the show, or for the people that have been on the show not very long, the card I'm about to pull for Sherry does not mean what it's about. Okay? But it is the death card, Sherry. So it's about big, big changes. In the physical world that we live in, there's probably no greater change than death. But death is not all there is. We know that. That's why I'm doing the show. There's much, much more to it. But this is letting go. And being able to let go. And then, like we talked earlier on the show, like with Dawn or John, or just seeing past what is obvious. Obvious is death, but what is past that? What is underneath that? What is this trying to show me? When we experience loss of any kind, there's something there for us. This, and I want to give you kudos. So if you go to Disneyland and you get to go on all the rides in one day, that is really awesome, right? Because Disneyland's pretty packed, and sometimes there's some really long lines. This is your opportunity on the planet this time. You've been able to go on all the rides. You've been able to experience a lot of things. All of us have. And that's, this is some big changes coming, but it's seeing past any of the negativity. There's nothing really negative. It's just a change, but it's also a change for the better. Okay. All right, Jeff. Jeff filmed his first movie up on his ranch up in Sholo area. So huge congratulations, Jeff. He got to be shot and killed. Yeah. So, yeah, Jeff, this isn't your card, the death card. He was shot. His character was shot and killed. Okay. But it was really cool. He's filmed it, and he got to send me a clip. It was really, really cool. And Jeff, this is what we talked about on the phone. This is you moving more into your art. That is what brings you joy. That is what brings you light. It's what brings you love, and it's your ability to express love through those stories to your audience. So fantastic, huge congratulations. And this is more of this. This is the rainbow. The storm is over. You're out of the woods. You're out of the dark. You're out of the night, right? Step into the sun. Step into the bright. This is your art. This is your art taking precedence. Absolutely. Hands down. It's also like your speaking ability. Your speaking ability is your art form as well. Your mentorship, the way you mentor people, that's an art form. We're not just talking about oil and canvas here. We're talking about moving more into that, and it's extremely successful. Olivia, thank you for being here, Olivia. I appreciate you. Who recommended you watch the show? I love that. So, Olivia, this is definitely, yeah, thank you for being here, and I'm sorry you lost your brother. This is him coming through. It's called the Rejoicer card. You know how they do always say that he is in a much better place, but he actually is in a much better place. He's at a place where he can afford flowers. I don't know why that's important, but rather than flowers be a luxury, or, you know, when you buy flowers for people from FTD or whatever flower delivery, they get expensive, right? So he's acknowledging the flowers, but he's kind of laughing. He's kind of funny. He's like, now I have all the flowers. I have access to all the flowers. So he's acknowledging the flowers. He's acknowledging the fog being lifted. So it's like with people that, you know, have maybe been on medication for a long time, that type of thing. They've kind of been in a fog. It's like he feels like he's just taken a shower, like just fresh and new. And just tell Rochelle that she can book it through just text me. So I hope that helps. I hope that helps, Olivia. This is expanding it's an opportunity to expand your view on death or people that have crossed over. There's much, much more going on. Expand your vision, expand. And that's what anyone that's crossed over that we've loved wants us to do, to be able to see them in a different way and truly know it, absolutely know it, without any doubt. Okay? Yeah, and the fog. I just want to breathe deep. It just makes me want to breathe deep and free. It's just such a blessing. He's saying, I got here before you did. It's almost like he's teasing in a fun way. And I made it. Like he made it. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you so much. Okay.
She asked a really specific question about a document for her son.
Any guidance as to where the document for my son was placed?
Yeah. That might be a reading, I don't know.
Yeah, I would need more time with that, Olivia, to take a look at that. But you can text me or call me or message me, instant message me. Is she on
She's
Facebook?
on YouTube right now.
YouTube?
So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So Christopher Lewis Laprath I'm on Facebook, and if you ask to join Christopher Lewis Laprath, Louis, then I'll friend you, and then you can instant message me. Okay, and then we have
Wait, oh yeah, sorry. So Jeff, we got Cat
Kat and Jared. Okay. All right, Kat. Do you remember the first time you got pregnant? You were like really nervous. You never had a baby before. You ain't never birthed no baby before. It's my favorite line from Gone with the Wind. Ain't never birthed no babies before. And so you really watched what you ate. You went to the doctor. You did everything. You did everything. Now that you've had 4 children, it's like, meh, no problem, right? By the fourth one, you were like, you were still careful, but it became like just natural, natural for you. That's where you're at right now. You're starting something, you're starting a new venture, you're starting something brand new. So you're really wanting to be really careful about dotting the I's, crossing the T's, but that's okay because it's a learning experience. But this baby's going to grow, and this baby's going to grow really fast. So it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to get a nanny. It's okay to get help with the kids, but also with the business that you're opening and starting. And then Jared. Okay. So what does it mean to baby yourself? This is the nurturing card. Jared. All right. Anywhere, any guilt that you may have felt or feel around taking care of you first or going to get a massage while Kat's working, are you ready and willing, able, and safe to completely dismiss that, let go of that? Because, and the same with you, Kat, it's like, well, I could be spending this money on the kids, or I could buy Jared something. No, this is you guys nurturing yourself, spending some money on a getaway, a massage, therapies. And Jared, you really need that right now. And changing your diet is really going to help. So the one I go to, the one I use is Gundry, Gundry. You can YouTube him. It's a no lectin diet. Anyway, but this is taking better care of your health. This is taking better care of what you eat, but also taking better care of you. Come on, you guys, every one of you, go get a massage or nails done, except for you, Jeff and Jared and John. You know what I'm talking about. All right. Mia, right? Hey, Mia, thanks for being here. So this is the feeler card. Mia, look at me. Are you responsible for other people's feelings? No. You cannot make other people happy. You cannot make people upset. They make themselves happy. They make themselves upset. Are you willing to cut, clear, destroy, uncreate anywhere where you are responsible for other people's feelings? Because if you feel like you are, it's going to feel like you are constantly. You may as well go join Barnum and Bailey Circus as their top juggler act. You're going to be like constantly, and there's way too much energy going out that no longer serves you to your best and highest by worrying about what other people feel. You could be a 10-year graduate of a contortionist school in Austria and still not be able to bend over backwards good enough for people. Okay? Mia, come on. All right, Lanny. Thanks for being here, Lana. Oh, I love that. How much fun is this, you guys? I don't know. I love this because people go, "Aren't you tired after the show?" I'm like, no, I am wired. I am the energy that's coming through here and to you, and the guides that are coming. Your guides that are showing up are such a blessing. To be able to share all of this with you is huge. So, Lana, I don't know when the last time was that you bought spandex, but highly recommend you go buy a spandex suit with your and go get some new pom poms, because you're going to start going SUCCESS. That's the way you spell success. This is a lot more things to cheer about and a lot more energy. Like you're having a lot more energy, and to get things done. This is more energy moving into you and through you and getting things accomplished. Again, I mentioned this before on the planets aligning. Who was that for? Do you remember? It was when we talked about, I think it was Laurel, right? When we were talking about Mercury, about the planets aligning. So I'm going to reiterate this before the group because we're toward the end of the show now. But this is where planets are aligning for you in a big way. That's so awesome. Okay. And then we have, is that it?
That's it. Yeah, Lana was last night.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, and thank you, Olivia. Thank you. I love that you said, I bless you. I know you're in tears. Because he would say, I beat you here. Yeah. Okay, I love you all. Have a great rest of your week. I will see you Sunday night, 6 o'clock, Mountain Standard Time. Good night.